Good morning. This is Gardner Israel. December the 23rd, 2022. Alright, we've been up since before daylight. Our power went out. It's not raining here. The howling winds we can hear outside. It's approaching freezing out there. We spent the last hour outside preparing, or we already worked on our pipes and wrapping everything yesterday and the day before, but we had a few details we had to see about. Feed the animals. The power is still out. We have called around a couple of neighbors and found out across town, maybe 10-15 miles away, and they said their power was not out. And I came back in and I had a little bit of coffee left in my coffee cup in the house, but it's not hot anymore, which I can deal with. But I just said, well, shoot, I've got a torch here that I use on my archery stuff. Let's see if I can heat this coffee. I guess I can. Directly on it? I don't know. But I'll speak a little louder. Certainly couldn't make this video outside. Ouch. It's got some heat to it. As far as I know, we can still go to town, buy supplies or whatever we need. I don't know how bad this doggone thing is, this storm. We're not going to have snow down here, but tonight it's reported that it will be, I'll see how hot this is, down to 19 degrees, which is cold, but the kicker of it is, that it's not real hot, but I'll quit this because I need to be talking instead of doing this. The kicker down here is that it's going to be down well below freezing for 2 or 3 nights in a row. And one of the days it's not going to get above freezing. So what that means down here is that if your pipes freeze up or your well freezes up or whatever, you're pretty much unable to have water until it gets over with. But I'm not painting a picture that it's real bad down here. It's not yet. I feel for the people up in the Midwest and all that I'm hearing 50 below zero wind chill and that sort of thing. However, I know that those people are more used to it than we are, and they have, know how to deal with it. But I noticed something interesting to me is that whenever we hear the weather reports about how cold it's going to be down here in Michigan and Chicago and all those places, but they never talk about Canada. Well, Canada's far way up above us. What are those poor people going to be doing? It's as if it doesn't exist on the weather reports. But I guess Canada can take care of itself. Did hear an interesting piece of news yesterday. The Canadian federal government has passed some kind of laws essentially making it illegal to own certain firearms, and those firearms were bought legally in the past, so they're actually going back. Usually the way the law works is if it was legal when you did it, you can keep it. And the Canadian provincial government, I think it was Alberta, is pushing back and saying, we're not going to go by what you said. So that's some pretty big news about gun laws. Well, It's the same thing here in the U.S. They desperately want to get the guns out of the hands of the people. I would say that that's the one thing that is keeping the deep state at bay. They want desperately to take the people over. And the way they do that is they pass laws, and then if anybody objects to those laws, they single them out and prosecute them and persecute them. And that is a lesson to the other people. Look what's going to happen to you if you don't do what we say. And a population that's well armed, that's very difficult to do, because an individual citizen, when he's pushed too far, can fight back. And the deep state law enforcement doesn't want to be shot. They might get the citizen, but if the citizen is well armed, they can buck back. I'm not in any way insinuating that all of law enforcement is deep state. The law enforcement's made up of regular people, but the high up, the directors and all, that's the ones that, and not even all of them are corrupt, but enough of them are. Army, yep, they got people in there that are deep state. Intelligence agencies, we're hearing lately that a great deal of them have been bought and paid for. Academia, professors, colleges, politicians, everybody knows that. That's the first ones they go after. How do they get the politicians? Okay, a lot of people go into politics with the idea that they're going to help do some good. But if you ever get elected to those high offices, the deep state will immediately begin to try to compromise you. They'll do it with money. If money doesn't work, they do it with, it's called sexual blackmail. It's as ancient as the world is. They try to get you in some kind of a compromising situation and take photographs or videos of it and use that over your head to make you do. Now, if you won't do that, if you're even, if you say, no, I'm not going to that cocktail party that you invited me to, because I have a feeling you're going to get me. Or you go there and you just say, no, I'm not going upstairs with that 17-year-old girl. Then they'll use drugs. They'll slip a Mickey in your cocktail, get you drugged, and then drag you up there and get compromising photographs. And if you won't do that, or of course you can't do it if you don't go to those parties, they'll use any method they can, and if they can't get you, they'll try to kill you. Now you got people. There's always people that don't play along with it. There's a couple of high up officials that they never could get, and I'll tell you who one of them was. One of them was Donald Trump. Donald Trump, definitely not a perfect person. He's done some things, but he didn't drink to start with. So it was difficult to get him drunk and do things. And he was, I think from probably his youth, he was taught what people could do. His family was savvy enough to teach him, hey, how to be careful of these people. You can even act like you're one of them, but don't let them get you in a compromising situation. I think Jeff Sessions was also one of those people. I haven't heard much of him lately, but I think he's one of them, of those that didn't let himself get compromised. And there's others, that they never could get to. I think things are coming to a head, to tell you the truth. I'm hearing some big stuff. I'm still hearing about this. I'm not hearing about the Brunson versus Adams case. It just dropped off the radar. But I'm thinking that that case right there, if you don't know anything about it, you ought to try to look it up. It's a Supreme Court case that could possibly actually overturn the 2020 election. And I won't go into the details of it. Look it up online. Actually, I made a video about it on my Gardner Israel channel probably a month ago. And that probably has gotten more hits than any other video that I've ever made. I even got hits from people in other countries that were following this. Alright, so basically we're about to freeze down here. And not really, that's just a figure of speech. And it's going to get cold down into the teens. And right now we're just waiting for the power to come back on. Oh, I did get my bowstrings finally from Howard Hill Archery Company. I'd say it took a good 2 weeks to get here. I want to apologize to them. I've almost insinuated that they were slack, Howard Hill Archery, for not getting these things to me sooner. And I think that was unfair of me. I've done business with them for many years. Bought 3 bows from them. And my favorite bow now, as if you watch my channel, is my Howard Hill Wesley Special. 2 bowstrings finally arrived. And when I spoke with the people at Howard Hill Archery, they were saying that the U.S. mail was basically slow. You know, Christmas rush and all that. So I'm gonna, like I said, I apologize to them for a few snide remarks I made about them not getting me these bowstrings in a timely manner. $50. $40 for the 2 bowstrings, $6 for shipping and handling. That's $46. And then at 40 and 6 is 46. How did it get to be 50? I don't understand that. No, it's 46. I'm sorry. 46. They make nice bows, I'll tell you that. I think the guy over there is Craig, the head honcho and the older bow maker there. He's almost the same age as I am. Howard Hill Archery, 54 North Canyon Drive, Hamilton, Montana. And that went through the Missoula, Montana post office. $19th of December. Alright, I guess I'm going to cut this off. I just wanted to make something for you guys today. Maybe later I'll get out and shoot the bow. This is Gardner Israel signing off.